We're live.
Oh my.
Do you feel the stress, Kyle?
Do I feel stressed?
Yes. You're speaking to your adoring fans.
I'm baked.
Baked again?
That's part of Movie Club.
You're being baked?
That's a core component of Movie Club. And I urge everyone out there to blaze one up. Movie Club.
Isn't it illegal?
Movie Club is actually a front for a
What?
international marijuana cartel.
And what do we do on the podcast?
Get people to smoke.
Oh, so it's a marketing for the cartel.
All right.
Okay, let's just begin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Movie Club. I'm Davinia,
I'm Miro.
And I'm Kyle.
and today we're talking about Princess Mononoke.
Oh.
So,
God, why did I make that noise? Damn. Yeah.
on a journey to find a cure for a curse, Ashitaka finds himself in the middle of a war between the forest gods and Irontown, a mining colony. In this quest, he also meets San, the Princess Mononoke, who's a human girl raised by a wolf god. It was directed by Hayao Miyazaki, and it was originally released in 1997 in Japan, and so it's released in the West in 1999.
Thank you, Davinia.
Thank you, Davinia. Yeah, thank you for the pick.
Mm-hmm.
It was a journey.
I can tell from your notes that you really enjoyed this one.
I
and
did.
thought deeply about it.
I did, yes, definitely. I did thought deeply about it. Don't think that I didn't. And even after my deep thoughts, I did not like it. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
I understand that this was a piece of art, basically, because it was hand-drawn, one of the last ones, I think. And the director himself redrawn several scenes. So
Many. About 80,000.
about 80,000, yeah. So it is definitely, I appreciate the work. Unfortunately, I am not made for this kind of cinema.
What's that? What does that mean, these kind of cinema? Japanese films?
There is a shit ton of Japanese myths and stories that are mentioned there by the ton. And maybe that's not for me.
Davinia, why did you choose this one?
Amazing movie.
Right.
Nothing much to say. I watched it as a kid, and since then I knew. I just love the movie.
Why is it so amazing to you?
An amazing journey. The guy battling for this curse, and even though there's the two sides, the forest is so against humans and humans are so against the forest, apparently, the people in Irontown, the kid still sees how everyone can work together and be together.
And
And it reflects a lot in the human world, right? Real life. It's true. We make partnerships almost with nature, in a way, quote unquote, even though we all know the climate, how it's going.
I would just say I don't think the forest itself was against humans, but there were like gods in the forest. The wolves and different animals were like against the humans, but
Especially the boars we see there. They're really pissed. And the monkeys.
yeah, well, I appreciate that it was a lot of work for all of the people involved. But maybe I think it was too long. I must be honest, I fell asleep 2 times.
So don't you think you should watch it sometime when you're awake and feeling fresh? Do you think that's really like a fair way to watch a film when you're passing out during it?
I didn't pass out. I think it was just putting me asleep. Maybe it's a good lullaby movie.
Unreal, man. It's such a great film. First of all, it's beautiful. The animation's beautiful. The music's beautiful.
I will say yes for an animation, but not for. I didn't enjoy the music as much. It wasn't bad. It was just wasn't a highlight for me.
What? That music could have
Wow. What was
easily...
that reaction? God, I mean, I haven't heard so much passion in you in ages. So,
I mean,
am I a dead man now?
that music could perfectly and easily have been in a Disney movie. That's just as clear as that. It doesn't have to be because it's Japanese or something like that. I don't understand. It's like the typical Disney song, pretty much. Like ambient nature kind of music all the time. Great music. 100%.
Maybe the fact that I didn't notice it so much is the good thing that it was incorporated into the movie, that it didn't disturb me from actual story.
I don't know how those swelling themes don't pull at your heart.
Yeah.
Oh, suddenly something should pull at my heart. Well, I pick a heart-pulling movie and you are all over it, how it's so sweet. And now you say, oh, it's so heart-pulling.
No, I mean, the music has an emotional resonance with the film, I feel like. And It's not a cheap trick to make you feel emotion. It's saying a lot of things for the film.
I am formally requesting you add like a small clip of the music here. It's amazing music. Like, I cannot put it into words.
It's why it's music, yeah.
Right as it kicks in, I was already teary-eyed.
Okay. All right.
There is something beautiful and ethereal about this film, something timeless feeling about it.
Yeah.
There's a fairy tale quality, but yet it has this kind of austere.
This fairy tale quality didn't really spark any interest for me in the main characters. I think they were poorly introduced. We see in the beginning that Prince Ashitaka is protecting his village from the demon that came out. I understand it was exciting to throw us right into the middle of the story or into the action scene. And I did learn a lot. I learned that Prince Ashitaka is Prince just later. Right, when he somehow introduced himself as a Prince Ashitaka later in the Ironworks, the town that he discovered. But in the beginning, he got cursed and the elders were so blasé about it, right? So you're now cursed and goodbye, get out.
I understand your point, Miro, but I think that you don't really need to know more about him because they already give you enough exposition with the wise lady of their tribe. You clearly understand the character right away from the get-go. He's not butthurt that the law of his clan demands him that he's cast aside and seems like he's dead and whatever. He takes it on. He's okay with it. We also learn of his sister who doesn't give a fuck and he just goes ahead and says goodbye to him, even though they're not supposed to do that. They're not supposed to say goodbye to him.
It was also funny, right? As you said, she just went to him and like, here, have this doll or what, and I think of you, bye. No, not a tear. That's why I think it wasn't so, emotional. If they would at least show some sadness. They looked sad in default, but there was no change when he was cast away.
I think it's enough for us to see his sister saying, I don't care about the law of our clan. I'm going to say goodbye to you no matter what. And here's this pendant. They're rough people. They live in the wilds. They have these curse. They have these wild animals running around. They're tough people. They're not just going to cry about it all day long. They know what must be done, and they do it. And him taking on this journey tells you so much about him already without shedding a tear. He just understands and goes with it.
Yeah, but as you said, they have these monsters, right? Demons, they call them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he killed it with 2 arrows, I think.
Straight to the head. Yeah.
First, he tried to talk to it. I think he was trying to convince it not to attack. It wasn't listening. It infected him, and then he shot 2 arrows and killed it.
Mm-hmm.
It was surprisingly easy. I thought such a monster would have more to show. I don't know why, but what do you think?
It's just such weird criticisms to me. You don't like the way that their tribe acts and their beliefs, so that's like a reason not to like the film. It's obviously part of the point, I think. Everyone's supposed to be like, whoa, they're just kicking him out? You learn everything you need to know about Ashitaka by his actions in the opening of the film. The way he responds to the threat, the way he protects people, his love for his animal. But it seems like you want them to like say like, I love you, and be crying and stuff. And that's not the way they act. And that sentiment comes through. That's the difference between this and like a Disney film.
But wouldn't you say this is also a reflection of the Japanese culture? It's like they do similar things like honor and rules, and let's not put in too much emotions in it.
Of course, it's a Japanese movie. It's going to have that kind of sentiment and the way they feel things and see things, but it doesn't mean that they don't show you emotions. Like, they're showing them to you. They're not telling you, they're showing them.
There's plenty of emotion in the film.
Yeah.
You just don't like the way that his particular clan deals with the harsh realities of life for them.
Yes, that is true. I don't know.
For example, I don't like the girls in Irontown, but that doesn't mean I don't like the film. So when you're giving that as a reason that like you don't like the film, it's like it would be like not liking the thief, the The cook, the thief, though.
Say it all. Say it all. Come on.
The cook. No, the cook, the thief, his wife, and her lover.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because the guy's rude. It's kind of part of the point. That's like the power of film. It's so understated, a lot of things in the film. But yet it's also this like fantasy grand adventure with monsters and demons that it takes 2 arrows to kill so what? It's a rampaging demon thing.
I just didn't understand why it took 2 hours to kill this one. And then later on, we see the wolves.
He's a hunter, right? I mean, obviously. He's really good with his bow and arrow. And then combined with the demon strength later, he's popping off heads and stuff with his arrow shots. With the guns, they're just blindly shooting like in a direction. There's no skill to the guns. I think that's also thematically part of the point. And that's what turns them into the demons, the bullet wounds and stuff.
Didn't happen for the wolf.
The wolf says, I have a demon. Maybe you were sleeping during that part, but the wolf says, like, I have a demon in me and it's going to kill me too.
I thought it's much faster because it happened very fast for the older boar.
It's a magical world.
Even magic has to have consistency.
The other boar was full of like negative emotions and stuff when it took him over. And the wolf is like holding on because she wants to kill the leader of Irontown. So she's like holding on. She still has like hope and purpose and stuff. Whereas,
Lady Eboshi?
Lady Eboshi. Yeah.
Eboshi. Yeah.
Yeah, basically what I was going to say too is that we got to keep in mind that the boar that they kill right at the beginning is just like a random boar who's got the curse. It's not like a god boar demon.
I actually liked the curse, how it was portrayed, like black worms coming out of you. So I studied it, and it says that these black worms, they are from Japanese folklore, that sorcerers used poisonous worm spells. And it's supposed to portray, as he said when he was dying, the first boar they killed, when Ashitake was protecting his village, he said, "You will feel my anguish and despair." This curse is the fear, anguish, and despair that controls you, that consumes you. And it actually makes sense, right? Because when you're desperate and scared, you don't think straight.
Links nicely as well with what I was going to say afterwards. We see the boar being taken over by the curse much faster than the wolf. And I think that's a theme of hatred and stuff like that as well over the entire movie. And I believe it's because the boar, he had the hatred and he wasn't thinking straight right away. Whilst the wolf god, she wants to kill Lady Oroboshi or whatever, but she is thinking about it better. She's not going to just get run by her hatred.
She has it together.
Exactly. She pulls it together. She has things she wants to do first, and she wants to make sure that Princess Mononoke is alive and her pups are okay. That's why she doesn't get taken over by the curse as fast as the boar.
Does that clear up some of the plot holes for you?
It does. Yeah, it does. That's why we have these discussions, Kyle. You can change my mind.
I maybe can change your mind, but not your rating.
No. I do rate it in advance, not like you live, but I do change it as we discuss. I just don't advertise the change. Now, did you actually study the name Princess Mononoke Hime? In Japanese, the Hime is princess or daughter of the Lord. And Mononoke is vengeful spirit or ghost. So in translation, all of this is princess of the spirit of vengeance, which the wolf actually really portrayed. As we see, she was very motivated to kill the lady of the ironworks.
Takes her arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like all the animal gods in this movie. I like how the boars act, like more like you'd expect boars to act. The wolves are very crafty, and I like a lot of the animal dialogue and their behavior and like their mannerisms and animations. There's some dialogue between the wolf mother and Ashitaka, and she's basically like threatening him with every sentence that she's saying, but he just kind of is ignoring it and talking about, and it's just like such a nice moment. And I like how he acts with all of them, his kind of reverence for them. But he is an interesting take no sides kind of character.
No, take both sides. Always.
Yes, he did mention it. Why can't we live together? Like, why can't Ironworks live in peace with the spirits?
Both sides believe he's taking the enemy's side all the time, but not him.
That's actually
Right.
a hallmark of being neutral, that everybody thinks you're against.
No. I think Davinia is right. It's not being neutral. It's more than that. She's right.
Yeah.
He's on both sides, not neither side.
Yeah, I meant it like that. No, not
Yeah,
this
like
one.
the other side always thinks that you're against them, but
Yeah. But I think that's an interesting distinction between being like neutral and being like pro both sides.
Well, let's talk about San, the Princess Mononoke Hime.
Okay.
That is she, right? That's her name is San.
Yeah.
So, what did she remind you of? Because I had it in my mind immediately when I saw her first shot, and when Ashitaka discovers her after the first interaction of Ironworks, when they shoot the wolves, and after the wolves just randomly attacked the Ironworks, they chased them away with their guns. Oh, and actually, a funny note about the guns, they were actually based on real Japanese guns called fire lances. Those sticks that they shot from. Not the advanced ones that Lady of Ironworks introduced later, that were made by lepers, but the previous ones.
yeah, like the ones that looks like thin cannons or something.
So it's just interesting, one of the first guns. So when they shot the wolves, and when Prince Ashitaka finds San,
Yeah.
she's with both of the wolves. So what does that remind you of?
I don't know what you're looking for here.
I am referencing the legend of Romulus and Remus, and many other children raised by the wolves. So the Romulus and Remus is a Roman myth, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, children raised by the wolves.
Yeah. It's based on a certain time period in Japan. I know they mention lots of things that are real in Japanese folklore, like the Kodama, the little guys, the little forest guys
spirits.
Those creepy ones.
Yeah.
The crackling heads.
But I don't know if there's something about anything like San in Japanese folklore.
But you're right. There's a lot of Japanese myths and culture. Even animals with human faces, like the forest god was. Elk with the human face, and
he's
many
elk-like.
others. Elk-like, yeah.
You don't have to know anything about... I mean, you could see this movie and think everything was completely made up for the movie, right? It's interesting if you know that, because that's one thing that you pointed out, but I don't know if that was something you didn't like about it or not.
It is hard for me, a European, to actually get into it because it's all new for me, okay? I gave you points, right? This is not just me saying it was inconsistent without reasons.
Yeah, and we destroyed all your points.
Oh my.
In your mind.
Didn't we?
Okay,
Yeah.
I must say, you did explain, we discussed that those other spirits were much more powerful than the regular boar that was possessed.
Would you rather be shot at by an expert archer or by someone who's barely ever handled a gun? My point is that the expert marksman with the bow and arrow is going to kill you. With the other, you have a chance it's not going to hit a vital part. It's not going to hit you at all. It's more elegant and it's more humane the way that he kills the demon than what they're just shooting blindly at it. And I think that's thematically like part of the point of the film. So to call that like an inconsistency, I think it's the film is making a point about like the industrialization, anyone can just grab a gun and kill gods and kill anything. And like where society's going after that, and like severing their spiritual connection with nature.
How arrogant Lady Oroboshi is. She's like, oh, I'll teach you how to kill a god with a gun. And I mean, fair point. She does remove his head off. But look what brought. I think it's like the entire message of the movie, basically.
So the ineffectiveness of the guns and the fact that, they don't seem to kill any god. They just get stuck in them and turn them into a demon.
Yep.
I think that's not an inconsistency, but like the point.
I did like his marksmanship, especially when he got infected by the demon and got some demonic powers.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't you find it funny how he decapitated some enemies that he encountered on the journey?
The best shot for me, though, was like the one where he shoots, like, I believe it's a samurai on a horse.
Yeah.
On horseback.
Yeah.
And he literally chops off both of his arms with one arrow.
Yes, because he was raising his sword and then...
Boom.
Wonderful.
Both arms chopped off.
I also like how those shots are framed, and they're from a distance usually. It's not like an enjoyable thing for him to do. It's just like something that he has to do in the moment, but he would rather not shoot them. And so it's shot at these kind of angles that are like far off in the distance. Like you see it, but it's not glorified in a way.
He did warn them. He told them, no.
Oh, yeah.
I am
He
here
always
peacefully.
I
He
love how
always
that
did.
other guy just turns and leaves.
Yeah,
after
he's
the
like,
guy
okay,
gets his head shot
goodbye.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always find it funny that these peaceful people are such an experts in killing. You know, he's super in tune with nature, and yet he can kill a boar with one arrow. Because I think he would. He just fired the warning shot to him, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But again, they're like rural people who like hunt for a living. Probably they look like almost nomadic or something to me. Their clan.
They are based on a real Japanese clan. I read about it because they mentioned that it has been 500 years since Emperor drove us to these lands. So based on that,
Huh.
they calculated that it is actually some kind of tribe. I don't know the name anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it believable. And I think, again, because it reinforces the theme that they're kind of more in tune with nature.
Tell us more. Why didn't you like the girls, the ladies in Ironworks?
I just find them annoying. And I think it gets old, the jokes about how stupid all the men are. I get the point of them, but they just get on my nerves. I don't know. I don't like Irontown, and I don't like the people there.
More so than just like the girls, I have a similar feeling, but for the general people living there, like everyone.
Yeah.
Because again, they represent the kind of arrogance of, oh, we can just kill the gods and whatever. We'll dominate this land and it will be ours and we'll take everything from it and stuff without thinking of the consequences, you know?
They're kind of just like proud in their ignorance.
Yeah.
And I think that's what bothers me. And so that's why I like San a lot. But they're just constantly like, these men are so stupid. And but they're like, I don't know, not any better.
I like, for example, Lady Oroboshi better than anyone else from the town. She does like a good villain, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's interesting. Is she a real villain or not? I think she is, but I admire her resolve.
Yeah, her persistence, you know, no, I'll kill that.
Not afraid to do it.
But I did like the macro view of the whole Ironworks town against the nature, because it was very prophetic. I don't think it was prophetic, it actually happened. It was happening already in 97, right? When the movie came out.
Mhm.
What?
Oh, the man is in the war against nature. We are destroying
I think it's
much
an
of
old
our
theme,
nature.
though.
It is old theme, yes, you're right. It's not something
Yeah.
that happened in 97. And still happening, surprise.
You're not wrong, for sure. And there was definitely like a trend at the time of things like that, but it's almost timeless theme.
Despite that, another thing that threw me off from this movie was the script and the conversations.
Did you
Maybe
watch
it
it with
was the translation, probably. As you say, did you want to say if I watched it in the original language?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yes, I did. With subtitles, right? So,
Interesting.
of course, why is it so interesting? I always watch movies in original language.
In this case, Disney distributed this film in the United States and probably
Mhm.
elsewhere. And so there's actually like a really well done dub for once, with Billy Bob Thornton plays a role in it. I think Claire Danes. Oh, I can't remember everyone right now, but it's actually like a really good dub. So it's interesting. I think you're right. That's probably the best way to watch it. We watched the dub.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have much trust in those, so I never
Yeah.
do. I mean, I didn't know. If I would know, maybe I would watch it in dub.
Yeah.
But maybe a good information in the future for me, from you.
Yeah.
You
I
can
mean,
True.
pass on.
True.
it doesn't sound like you're going to jump out to watch it again anytime soon, but maybe if you do,
Maybe.
give that a try.
We'll see.
maybe it would add something for you. I love the costumes in this movie too, like the straw coats that they wear.
Didn't Ashitaka look a little bit like a Spider-Man? I thought so, with his white and red hoodie.
Okay.
That's cute.
It was just a moment, of course. It wasn't like that, but
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
red and white.
It's like
you know.
Superman colors too, like red and blue. It's interesting.
I definitely really like the attire he wears when he leaves his village for the first time.
And let me give a special shout out to Yakul, who's like the best.
That was his name. The elk he wrote.
Yeah.
His best companion ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Just
cool.
fantastic.
Should we approach rating?
Yeah. Let's
Surely.
rate it.
Devin, you picked this one. So what would you say this is worth?
It's a resounding 9 for me.
Wow. 9 out of 10. This
Yeah.
is
9 out of 10.
quite high. Mr. Kyle?
Well, I love Miyazaki films. It's not my favorite Miyazaki film.
What?
I would give it an 8.
8? Still
Yeah.
super high. I will vote this a 6 out of 10, which already improved during our discussion. So
Wow. Okay. I had a feeling you were going to give it like a 4 or 5.
originally it was 5.
Okay,
I gave it
yeah.
a point plus because you eloquently explained inconsistencies that I didn't like. So I would say 6 out of 10.
But yeah, you'd recommend people see it, right? It's a beautiful film.
I have a similar philosophy like you. Everybody should see everything. So definitely
Yeah.
yes. There's only few I would caution against.
Yeah.
You know which I talk about.
Right.
And there you have it, people. You just heard our review on the movie Princess Mononoke. Our average rating for this movie is 7.7 out of 10. Did you like the music? Did you like the art? Tell us on Twitter at movieclub_pod. We would be happy if you would rate us as well on your favorite podcast platform, where you can also find more movie reviews by Movie Club. You can join Movie Club and support us by visiting our Patreon page and subscribing to one of our membership tiers. The link will be in the description of this episode. Next week, we'll be talking about Misery. Don't forget to check it out. Bye for now.